I just quit my job, guys. I just quit my job. The same job I made a whole YouTube video on, my 10th ever video 2 years ago, saying how I accepted my job offer a year in advance, and I was so incredibly excited about it. The same company I interned with twice in college over 2 years. The same job I literally moved across the country from Cleveland to Atlanta to work for. And now less than a year in, I quit. Wow, saying those words makes it sound really real, doesn't it? I'm still trying to process it. But today I'm gonna tell you why I quit my job and how it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made, and also why you need to quit your job right now. Let's get into it. So why did I quit my job? Well, I realized I was doing it for the wrong reason. Like I said, I interned with them twice over 2 years, so it just made sense for me to accept the full-time offer when they gave it to me. It was a prestigious accounting firm that looked nice and sounded sexy on LinkedIn. My parents and all my parents' friends and coworkers and whatnot were all proud of me and saying, wow, David has a great job, he's gonna do great, they're gonna set himself up for the future and blah, 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 blah. It didn't take me very long to realize that all this external validation was fake, because that is not what I wanted to do. I worked for that company for 10 months before I quit, and about halfway into that I realized that my heart and my head were somewhere else, and it didn't matter how highly people looked at me or how great they thought I was doing if I wasn't feeling the same way about myself. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to act on it now. I didn't care what everyone else wanted me to do, because that shit does not matter. A lot of people were telling me to stay put. A lot of people were telling me, oh, you haven't even been at that company a year yet. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure you're ready to bounce? Are you sure you've gotten the full experience of the company? Whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. It's very scary changing jobs, let alone a whole career path, but that's exactly what I just did. I was gonna be an accountant, you know, a CPA, and as I was studying for that exam, I was always thinking to myself, wow, this is really boring. If you're an accountant and you love it, kudos to you, that's great, wasn't for me. Like I've said in a previous video, if you're trying to figure out what you want to do for work, if you feel stuck, think about this question. If I knew I was going to die in a year, would I still be doing what I'm doing now? If your answer to that is the biggest no of all time, quit your job and do something else. So I began thinking about my answer to that as well, because if I'm gonna preach it, I'm gonna follow through on it and do it also. My answer was no. Absolutely not. I would absolutely no way in hell ever continue to do this if I was dying in a year. I was not placed on this earth to grow old as an accountant. So where is my heart? My heart is in sales. I love sales. I love everything about sales. I love the high energy environment. I love the constant hustle. I love how it's a commission driven job. So the more and the harder you work, the more money you make. You learn how to influence people and perfect your communication and people skills, which I think I've really increased this whole time I've been doing YouTube. And I found salary very, very boring. As an independent young person with very little personal and financial liabilities, I was able to take a risk. I didn't want the same paycheck every 2 weeks. A lot of people do, and that's totally cool. But I did not. So I quit my salary job and got myself a commission-driven job. If you're curious to what I do now, feel free to look me up on LinkedIn, but think about that question. If you're gonna die in a year and you still had to work, is the work you're doing now the work you choose to do for the last year of your life? If no, then it's time to quit. But hold up, I think it's very dumb to quit a job without having another one already lined up. Unless you wanna go travel the world and take time off to recharge, fine. But especially in today's day, post-COVID, 99% of interviews are done over Zoom, over the computer, which means you can take time out during your workday to interview with other companies while you're still working with your current company. You have every right in the world to do that. That's what I did, interviewed with a handful of companies over the course of about 2 months while I was still working with my last company. Once I got an offer from a company who wanted me that fit my true passions and interests, I took it immediately and have not looked back. I'd say majority of people do not have jobs that they're truly passionate about, which is really sad because the average career is about 40 years. Can you imagine spending 40 years of your life doing something you don't enjoy? I can't. A lot of people will tell you, hey, just be grateful you have a job, which is true to an extent because there's a lot of people out there who don't have a job. So if you have any job in general, you're way far above the average in the world. But if you're able to get a job, I personally believe you need a job that fulfills you. So as I mentioned, this is so far one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I'm not really talking about just finding a job that I like more. Taking this huge risk and leap of faith showed myself above everything else. I'm confident in myself and my abilities and believe that in everything that I try, I will do well. I believe this about myself despite everyone else out there is thinking I should stay at my current job because it's safe, it's very safe. I probably would have never gotten fired. I could have climbed the ladder and eventually made a lot of money. It's prestigious, it's cushy, you know, very risk averse. But despite all those things, I still quit because I believe in myself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're gonna fall short in whatever it is that you try. Switching or changing up anything is always gonna be hard, even if you know that that's the right move. So if you believe in yourself, you'll be ready to take on anything. So the moral, in one sense, of what I'm saying is it's your life, it's your career, it's your job, it's your future. So guess what? It is your damn decision. I've been at my new job for about 2 weeks when you're watching this, and I love it so far. If you haven't heard of the Great Resignation, look it up. Basically, right now, everyone's quitting their jobs. It's not like people are quitting their jobs to sit on the couch and eat Doritos. People are waking up and switching jobs to those that, one, pay more, and two, are more in line with what they're actually passionate about. That's what I did, and I think that's what you should do too. But if you love your job right now, awesome. Not many people can say that. Now, another question is, which is more important, passion or money? Now, obviously, I've been talking about passion this entire video, but money is important too. However, I don't say follow the money. I say follow the passion, get really freaking good at whatever that passion is, become an expert at that craft, and the money will follow. If you are good at what you do, you will get paid regardless of what job or what industry it is. For example, if you are an art major, and you know art majors don't make anything unless you are the best artist in all of Atlanta, people will pay to see your artwork. If you are a school teacher, and school teachers are definitely way underpaid, say you have a skill that other teachers don't, maybe you know sign language or you know 5 languages, the top schools are going to pay you to come teach at their school, and they're going to pay you a lot more than what you make otherwise. These are just random examples, but you know what I'm getting at. Follow your passion, get really freaking good at it because you believe in yourself, and then the money will follow. It has been an incredibly long day for me. For some context, if you remember this very start of this video, I was at my parents' house in Cleveland. That was last night, and then this morning I had a 6 a.m. flight back to Atlanta. So I'm running on maybe 3 hours of sleep, if that, and then I was up the entire day today. Didn't take any naps because I had this entire video to film before it drops tomorrow. So we are topping things off with a gainer shake. That's what I call these. It is the POG Passion Fruit Orange Guava by Scofflaw Brewing Company, brewed here in Atlanta. Classic IPA. I'm not big on IPAs usually, but that one is pretty good. 8.1 out of 10. What a beautiful night in downtown Atlanta. It's actually quiet for once. It's usually really loud, as in like I'm falling asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm still hearing Dodge Chargers and Challengers revving their engines. If you've been following me for a long time, you know this view. Never gets old. Never gets old at all. Please take what I said and apply it to your life. You really should have a fulfilling job. Your career is 40 years long, and really it's 40 years long, but life is so short. It'll go by before you know it. So you might as well enjoy what you're doing. Do not be afraid to interview. Do not be afraid to take risks. Do not be afraid to quit your job and do something else. People will judge you for literally anything that you do, so you might as well do what you want to do. So with all that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Make sure you drop me a thumbs up because I have been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Right now it is 8 p.m. and I still have most of this video to edit before it drops tomorrow. So drop me a thumbs up for all this hard work, and also subscribe if you have not, because I drop a new video every single Monday that you don't want to miss. Every single Monday. I posted every single Monday for 112 Mondays or something, and I will not miss a single Monday ever going forward. So I will see you next Monday.